Little G meets his online lover in real life, but he doesn't expect that the other person is the ultimate master in school. So he immediately ran away, but the next day, she pulled him into his arms and hugged him. "Baby, what are you running? Wasn't it you who insisted on meeting me? Yesterday, my online lover agreed to meet, and when he left the door, he was bragging to his roommate. Today I have to put her down." Deep Fam breathed and asked, "What if I miss her so bad? I can't be so wet." "Her voice is very nice. I also think her hands are white and soft. Her figure is also very sexy and seductive." Deep Fam coldly interrupted, "But you only see parts. And if there's no problem, why isn't she happy with him?" My enthusiasm has been extinguished. After more than 3 years of flirting, even if it's a ghost, I still have to meet it. The winter in Nam Tan is cold. I'm freezing cold in V. This outfit was voted for by netizens. Everyone said it was super handsome. It definitely made the other person fall in love. I trembled and walked into the cafe to recover. Suddenly, I saw someone I knew. I secretly wished him and sent it to Deep Fam. "Who can I meet?" Deep Fam replied immediately, "Greetings to the elders is like the Yan ancient spirit you keep." Lu Nuyen is a lecturer at the Deep Fam department, specializing in teaching the teachings of lovelessness. Her classes, regardless of time or location, must be on time. Just 1 minute late and the whole semester is over. Luckily she's not my teacher. I stopped and quickly typed. "She's a teacher in your department, so she probably doesn't care about me, right? Besides, I've already graduated, and falling in love online isn't illegal." I sneaked a glance and saw her go straight to sit by the window. Elegant temperament, cold body, and also has the face of the female lead in the movie Mysterious Fruit. A moment later, I received a text message, "It's cold today, remember to get warm when you go out. Are you here yet? Just arrived, just go slowly, no need to rush. Are you here too? I haven't seen you yet. What are you wearing today?" "Black coat." I glanced around. It was still early, the cafe was not crowded, and there was only one person wearing a black coat, which was Lu Nuyen. I stood silently in front of the door for a whole minute. At that exact moment, her phone rang. Lu Nuyen looked towards the sound of the bell. The moment my eyes met, I turned around and ran away. "Deep Fam, help me. Oh my God, I've been flirting with her for 3 years, my love, that's my spiritual support. Why her? Deep Fam is right, I'm so unlucky. Unfortunately, today I took off my shoes and couldn't run fast. Just ran a few steps when she grabbed my arm from behind. What are you running? There's water on the road, what if you fall?" Lu Nuyen's voice was a bit cold. "I don't dare to come close. Wasn't it you who asked to see me? Why did you run away after meeting me?" I bowed deeply. "Auntie, I was wrong. I won't dare anymore in the future." Lu Nuyen laughed, his eyes darkening. She suddenly pushed me against the wall, leaned closer, her voice was low. "If you've called your beloved wife for 3 years now, why have you changed the way you call her?" The warm breath on the open earphone was so dark it was killing me. If I changed to another face, I would have rushed forward, but now I only dare to smile wryly. Maybe it's just a misunderstanding. My phone was once exposed to water, and it often messed up its sensors. There was a time when my mother was even reshaped. That's right, that's for sure. Having an aunt as my wife is also normal. Lu Nuyen said nothing, she still maintained a close posture. This distance is completely beyond normal gu distance. She just stared. My legs were shaking, I thought, at best, I'll just kneel down again. Lu Nuyen seemed to see through my thoughts. She laughed softly, then let go, took off her coat, and put it on my shoulders. Her warmth enveloped me. I was stunned and looked straight into her eyes. Western clothes are beautiful, but they are not suitable for the season. They are cold. Then he forced me to coax me to take medicine. The skin, which was cold, suddenly felt hot. I buried my face in the collar of my jacket and said softly, "I know. Lu Nuyen said, the date continues. Work must have a beginning and an end. From now until 9 o'clock tonight, I am yours. Everything is according to your plan. Once bold in my life, introverted, I took a break for 2 weeks before making her agree to meet. Today's schedule had countless plans, but at this time I remained silent, obediently following Lu Nuyen, not daring to say a word. Lu Nuyen took off her jacket. Inside she only wore a high-collared, tight-fitting shirt. This outfit is worn on her body, waist is waist, nothing is nothing, her naked figure is off the table. In this cold weather, I really don't have the courage to roam the streets with her. You have the courage to say, Miss, let's go see a movie. It's a warm movie, no need to talk, no need to face each other. Very good, today will pass very quickly. Lu Nuyen stopped walking and looked at me. Okay, stop listening to you. Lu Nuyen unlocked the code and got me a pair of slippers. Come in, this pair is new, you can go for a while. I stood in front of the door, staring at the pink sassy 38 women's slippers, lost in thought. Don't you have to go to the theater to watch a movie? Why are you taking me home? Is it great to have a movie theater? While Lu Nuyen was busy, I quickly texted Deep Fam brother, save my life, what's wrong? You're not my brainless girlfriend, but I'm scarier. Tell me quickly, is it Lu Nuyen? The lady of the Lu family even took me home, I didn't even dare to say no. Furthermore, it seemed like she recognized me from the beginning, what should I do? Deep Fam said, now go, don't move. I'm thinking, what the hell am I thinking? Now I'm close to death, I don't know how to survive today. My best friend is ignoring me. I glanced at Lu Nuyen again. Looks like she's out of shape. I quickly typed, is she ever going to talk to you? Deep Fam immediately replied, don't, she is your wife, you are the master, I beg you don't mention me. Seeing the words your wife gave me goosebumps. He was about to refute, but Lu Yen's voice rang out above his head. Are you that focused on talking to others? Ah, no, miss. I was just texting my roommate. Lu Nuyen seemed to be just joking, but she didn't expect me to react so strongly. She put the fruit plate on the tea table and then took a soft pillow and placed it behind me. It's not like you're going to class, what kind of world are you talking about? When she came closer, I smelled the faint scent of her body, clean, warm, very pleasant. My heart suddenly beat a few beats faster. Lu Nuyen laughed, but I didn't teach you anything. I placed my hands neatly on my knees, sat up straight, my eyes steady. Teacher is still teacher, I still understand this rule. Lu Nuyen sat down, her face full of excitement. You didn't say that last night. You said, wife, when I see you tomorrow, you have to kiss me to death. Stop. Stop, don't use that handsome face to say such rude things. By the time I could react, my hand was blocked by her mouth. Lu Yen's clear eyes looked at me quietly. The soft feeling on her palm was her lips. I immediately withdrew my hand and saw the corners of her lips curl up. I was extremely confused. Can't you really be a little gentler? My face turned red. You really know your mistake. If you knew it was you, you definitely wouldn't dare say nonsense. Lu Nuyen frowned slightly. You mean it's possible with someone else? No, that's not what I mean. If I had known earlier, I would have absolutely not dared, just. Bye. I bowed my head in shame. Can you forgive me this time? I absolutely don't dare say those words to you again in the future. If I tell you the truth, I'm a straight guy, I've never been weak to anyone in my life. Those crazy flirting lines are just something I learned online. I wonder if Lu Yen will believe it. On purpose, Tran seemed like he was very afraid of me. Why don't you want to see me anymore today? I stiffened and silently took a cold breath. How would she know? Even if you gave me 10 livers, I still wouldn't dare love you. Lu Nuyen smiled. God damn it. I'm also the first time you can't stay away from me like that because of my job. It's not fair. My suggestion is that we try dating for a while, and if we don't get along, we'll figure it out. What do you think? I laughed but felt like I was about to cry. Miss, if I say your suggestion is very good, but don't mention it in the future, will you let my friend Deep Fam come over? I couldn't watch the movie, but Lu Yan was very understanding and saw my confusion. She changed her attitude and took me home. As soon as I got in the car, I closed my eyes and pretended. Lu Nuyen drives very steadily, just like the person she is. So it's time for school. I immediately unfastened my seatbelt, jumped out of the car, and bowed deeply to Lu Nuyen. Thank you for taking me home. I will transfer the fare back to you in front of the school gate. A group of 3 or 4 students were looking this way. I immediately seemed distant. Without waiting for Lu Nuyen to react, I turned around and ran all the way back to the dormitory, leaning my back against the door, panting. Deep Fam poked his head down from the upper bunk bed. Did Master Lu send you home? I held my stomach, running so fast I was shocked. No time to react. Deep Fam's eyes are surprising. How do you know? He raised his hand and pointed at the jacket on my body. I saw her wearing it in class. Damned. So I was wearing Lu's jacket Nuyen all this time? No wonder when I left, Lu Nuyen called after me. I was afraid that she would hold me back or say something that would confuse us both, so I immediately galloped at 800 m running speed. Deep Fam climbed down from the top bunk and walked around me as if he were watching a monkey. Thieves and robbers, intentionally. Lu Nuyen is obsessively clean, yet she can even let you wear a coat. What does that mean? She considers you as one of her own. According to logic, I'm also family, right? Good, good. I don't need to stay up and write my essay anymore. I took off my coat and hung it neatly on the hook. It's just a misunderstanding. Ms. Lu just let me wear her jacket out of humanity and care for her students. Let me have it dry cleaned and then return it and I'll be done with the debt. There are some things that I can't talk about when I'm face to face, but as soon as I get back to the dorm, my courage grows again. Wait. I'll text her later. Miss Lu, we're not compatible in every aspect. The sudden words I said before, I hope you think of them as a nightmare and forget them. Don't wait any longer, I'll text her now and change her nickname. Deep Fam suddenly raised his voice. Why? Aren't you two talking very well? Why aren't you compatible? Who told me that I've never met such a gentle girl in my whole life? Lu Nuyen is just being strict with students, hasn't she done anything wrong? Okay, my good brother. Because of your thesis, you're on your own. I told him seriously, I will never love a teacher in my whole life. From kindergarten to college, I only have respect for teachers. It can only be a pure relationship, it can't be broken. But you broke it. You even saw half-naked photos of people. I was angry and gave him a shot. How do I know it's her? Deep Fam, I have saved your life. I warn you not to betray me. Rinse your face continuously with cold water until your eyes clear. You still can't believe that the person who stayed up all night to chat with me was Lu Nuyen? Oh God, I'd rather tell me that the person typing the message opposite is a ghost. At this moment, the phone lit up and a prominent message appeared. Intentionally. Today is our first date. It's my fault for giving you a bad experience. I didn't intentionally hide my identity. I hope you can forgive me. Through the screen, I can also imagine her tone and attitude when saying these words. If it was a direct encounter, I definitely wouldn't be able to refuse. We chatted online for a long time. There's almost nothing that cannot be said, no matter how much I feel. She can accept it all too. From childhood to adulthood, no one has ever treated me so gently. Her tolerance made me feel dependent. I like her inner personality. Her appearance can't be said to be unimportant, but that's just a plus point. This year, I often see her in my dreams. I can't always see her face clearly. I long to meet her, but she always refused, telling me to wait until I graduated to avoid hurting her tender heart. I once boldly said that no matter how ugly you are, I will not criticize you. Until today, when I learned her true identity, the anticipation turned into shock. Shock turned into panic. I admit I'm the stupid one. A while later, I replied to the message she saved. She is a very good person. The time spent making friends with her was very fun. I will clean the jacket and return it to you. In the past, I often spoke without thinking, hoping you could forgive me. In the login window, she replied a moment later, okay, everything is up to you. I stared at the plastered frame, feeling an indescribable loss in my heart. Deep Fam looked at me angrily and tried to calm down. You're so stupid. You're giving up after 3 years of love just because she's a teacher? She's a teacher, not a criminal. Moreover, the whole school has people chasing her. But you're the first person to fall for her. You haven't enjoyed anything yet and you want to give up? Regretting the military, I fainted. The coach told me to pretend to be sick, so he immediately carried me on his back and scolded him straight in the face. Idiot, where's that courage? I mumbled loudly, but since I was little, I've been afraid of teachers. I couldn't control it. I started to regret being so impatient to meet. For several days in a row, Lu Nuyen did not send any messages anymore. Every night before bed, I go through each of our messages. Only when C fell asleep and pulled me into the dream, I was able to see her again. My birthday is coming soon. Every year I receive gifts and wishes on time from her, but maybe from now on I won't anymore. The black jacket in the closet still hung neatly there. Just looking at it makes me remember the moment she put it on me. Believe me, waiting numbly. I wanted to text her as an excuse to return the jacket, but I was afraid that after returning it, we would no longer be in contact. I'm even more afraid if she gets angry and deletes me. Deep Fam realized I was in a bad mood recently. He said he had booked a private room and would take me out to relieve stress after school was over. Jesse, I turned on the TV series and watched it. When it got to the climax, Deep Fam called and told me to come to his class quickly. He lowered his voice, his tone filled with urgency. Goose Spirit, come here quickly. Seeing No holding a bouquet of flowers, he stopped Lu's suit tie right in front of the classroom door. My heart was pounding, a crisis overwhelmed me. I quickly asked which class. Text me right away. After hanging up, I ran like crazy inside the train. I only have pictures of Lu Nuyen and memories of the night she stayed awake with me after her parents passed away in an accident. The wind outside is very strong, the sun is also bright. The rows of trees along the road gradually become blurred. I quickly wiped my tears and muttered softly, Lu Nuyen, don't agree with him. I told you I only listen to you and only like you. I won't act like a baby to you anymore. No matter what, you must be mine. Just thinking about having to be like the girlfriend I've been talking to for the past 3 years for someone else is more painful than death. Deep Fam's classroom must pass through the gymnasium. Over the past 3 years, I have waited countless times for him to finish school. I also witnessed him fainting due to hypoglycemia when entering military school. Coming to bamboo shoots, I passed the entire gymnasium, but I have never seen this gymnasium so large. I have never run so slow. When I gasped and climbed to the 4th floor, the yellow hallway saw neither No nor Deep Fam. The wind blew through the hallway, blowing my messy hair. Lu Nuyen walked out of the classroom, her eyes flashed with fever. She slowly walked towards me. I was breathing heavily, my heart was beating violently, my consciousness was confused. Miss Lu, I'm here to pick up Deep Fam and save Deep Fam. When Ms. Lu Nuyen approached me and stroked her hair, I smiled gently. Just in time, are you afraid I'll run away? Her eyes were so gentle that it made me want to drown. I couldn't tell if it was because I ran too fast or because of her, my heart was about to explode. Lu Nuyen, I have a lot of things to say, but why do I choke as soon as I open my mouth? I silently blamed myself for not having courage. Lu Nuyen suddenly grabbed me. She looked down at me, trying to calm herself. You haven't paid attention to me for several days. I really wanted to see you, so I asked your friend to help me a little. Do you blame me? I quickly shook my head to deny. I don't blame you, I'm too picky. Lu Nuyen gently touched my ear. My whole body trembled. I raised my head to look at her. Here, she retracted her hand and smiled slightly. My spirit is not that of a coward. You are the bravest and most resilient guy I have ever met. I saw you in the hot weather. Your classmates ran to the infirmary. Sweat profusely. I also saw him quietly go home to pay his respects to his parents, wipe away his tears and continue living. La Kuang is brave because I have known you for a long time. I only dare to look at your shadow. I'm afraid that if I come close, you'll run away. Knowing you is my luck. After the university entrance exam, my father gave me a phone. I immediately downloaded the best singing game. From childhood to adulthood, I never came into contact with electronics, nor did I have close friends to talk to. Besides studying, it's still studying. My father always said that classmates are only temporary friends. After graduation, everyone goes their separate ways. That summer, I was almost crazy about in-game phones. I always choose a big, muscular warrior character, holding a large kite, both blocking and attacking. But one time, I was afraid I would hide in the bushes and be cursed at by my teammates. So angry, I became friends with the mage on the opposing team. From then on, every time I played, I called her. She curses better than me. With her, we have never lost a match. If you lose, you scold your teammates. If you win, you anger your opponents. At the end of August, I told her, I'm going to a faraway place to go to college. She said, she was about to start school, from now on she could only play on weekends. Then she sent me a voice message, Dear, when I'm not here, don't play with other girls. At that time, I realized that the person who tickled me and hid in the bushes while cursing me was a girl. She was the first friend I met online. It sounds like we're still young, but the two of us get along very well. Every day I go online to wait for her, but her profile picture is always gray. She wasn't online, so I immediately left a message, Where are you going online? Without you, I won't be happy cursing, and I'll be bored. She still didn't answer. Luckily that year I met Deep Fam. He doesn't like crowds, so he rented a dark double room. Also enjoy. We often play games all night until winter break. Spent most of her time at school, and she finally went online. I immediately texted her, Girl, you're finally here. I thought you were kidnapped. I almost lost my soul. The opponent is silent. After a while, he replied, Sorry, something happened at home so I didn't log into the game. Cheer up, are you okay tonight? I stared blankly at the chat box. She has never called me spiritual mentor before, but has always called me brother. I thought for a moment and texted back, Did you get your hand cut off? Why do you use such a serious tone to talk to me? Don't be like that, I'm very scared. The opponent is silent. Very quickly, representative turned gray again and stopped. I took a screenshot of the conversation and sent it to Deep Fam. He said maybe after a year that girl would have grown up. What he said was not wrong. The next day, the girl went online to apologize. I'm sorry, I didn't say hello to you yesterday. She was so polite that I suddenly felt embarrassed and quickly said, It's okay. Up to now, I haven't asked her if she's in middle school or high school. Could it be elementary school? Thinking that my teammate fighting with me was an elementary school kid, I felt a little guilty. I carefully asked, Is it very busy going to middle school? The other person answered very quickly, I am a high school student. I breathed a sigh of relief. High school life is really busy, no wonder she rarely goes online, even though she plays games together. She refused again, I have to rest, let's talk later. At that time, I just saw her as a good friend, until that day my parents argued. I hid in my room and didn't come out. Outside there was the loud sound of firecrackers exploding. I covered myself with the blanket, secretly jealous of Deep Fam for having loving parents. After waking up, I saw dozens of missed calls. I suddenly felt panicked, and just as I was about to call back, the phone rang again. Grandfather said, My parents were angry, got a divorce, got into a car accident on the way, and both of them died. I was immersed in pain and deeply blamed myself for being selfish. Normally when they argue, I stop them, only this time I didn't come out. Yet they left me this way. That winter was the strongest winter of my life. There was no more noise in the house, my family was alone, celebrating New Year's Eve alone. I was about to uninstall the game, but suddenly realized that my online friends were also my life friends, so I had a rough goodbye. As a result, as soon as I logged in, I received a series of messages from little sister. She asked, "Why haven't you been in the game for so long?" And then wished me a happy new year. Her gentle concern made me feel comforted. I sat down on the ground and burst into tears. Ask her if she can make quality friends. I want to find someone to chat with. She agreed. During that call, I cried silently. What I said was fragmentary and messy, from the days when I was a child and was forced to witness my parents arguing, to me trying to study well to please them, and then to when they went away. I just want to be away from everything. After I had cried enough, a low voice came from the other side of the phone. "Hold on, this is not your fault. God knows." Those words were like magic, helping me gradually find salvation. After that, things gradually got out of control. Every day she asks about me. I'm afraid it will affect her studies and don't dare talk for too long, but every day I look forward to a text message from her. At that time, Deep Fam also reminded me, a teenage girl will love the person she talks to every day. Remind me not to harm other people's daughters. I saw that what he said made sense, so I asked, "Which school is Lu Nguyen planning to enter?" She said again, "She lives at my school." I couldn't bear it, I had to meet her, but she absolutely refused. I transformed into a detective, step by step testing her limits. At first I just asked to fold my hands, then put them aside to watch. For 3 years, I was nervous every day, looking for suspicious people but couldn't find anyone. Those people either don't sound the same, or the feeling isn't right. I really couldn't stand it anymore and used all my begging tricks for 2 weeks. She called me my beloved wife, finally getting the chance to meet her. I had prepared everything, but the moment I saw Lu Nguyen, my eyes darkened. It turns out that when she said at school, "Are we teachers?" After Lu Nguyen and I clarified everything, we officially confirmed our relationship in CT. Deep Fam and I each held a microphone to sing. They were full of enthusiasm, while Lu Nguyen sat on the sofa smiling and looking at us. It was almost 12 o'clock when the waiter brought in the cake. Deep Fam put a birthday hat on me and urged me to quickly make my wish. I looked at the 2 people in front of me, closed my eyes, and made a simple wish, praying that we would all be healthy, peaceful, and perfectly happy. Deep Fam also gave me a set of clothes, telling me to open it when I get home. Dragging me to sing one more time, after a wild singing session, I lay down on the sofa. Lu Nguyen suddenly gave me a tangerine segment. It was very sweet. "Try it." I looked at her, then glanced at Deep Fam who was choosing a song. To be honest, I really want to eat, but Deep Fam is here so I'm a bit shy. Lu Nguyen brought the tangerine closer, almost touching my lips. My face turned red. I quickly opened my mouth and bit her finger. I didn't expect to accidentally bite her finger. I quickly grabbed her hand, checking to see if she was injured. Lu Nguyen looked at me, leaned closer and asked, "Is it sweet?" I didn't want to make her lose interest so I nodded and said, "Very sweet." After saying that, I tried to chew hard. She suddenly held my chin. "Really? Let me taste it." Before I could react, she leaned closer and kissed me. The sour taste of tangerine mixed into the kiss. I panicked, closed my eyes tightly, and grabbed her neck. Time seemed to stop, her breathing, the intense possession made me lose all feeling. I didn't let go until I was almost suffocating and my face was red. Warm hands gently caressed my lips. "Sorry, can I kiss you again?" Who would ask like that? Although I was a bit unsatisfied, the room was so quiet that I suddenly realized that when we kissed, Deep Fam was still there. I immediately pushed Lu Nguyen away, sat up straight, and looked nervously towards the corner of the room. Deep Fam was nowhere to be seen. Lu Nguyen looked at my guilty appearance and couldn't help but laugh. He left. When did you not know? Lu Nguyen blinked, eyes filled with laughter. Right when I started to respond to her, after taking me back to the dorm, she asked me to meet her this weekend, saying she wanted to take me to meet someone. The group was immersed in joy. I went to the dormitory and opened gifts. First is Lu Nguyen's blue velvet box. Inside is a watch, the same model I once mentioned to her. I used to say, wait until you save enough money to buy it. Unexpectedly, she always remembered. Inside there was also a handwritten card, sending spirit to Mr. Ko, wishing you peace and joy, a worry-free life. The familiar handwriting was written by Lu Nguyen himself. I looked at the card again and again, and finally stuck it in the book. After opening Deep Fam's gift, my face immediately turned red on the spot. Come Deep Fam. What did you buy for me? I climbed onto the bed and pulled him out of the blanket. At first, I thought he was asleep. When he entered, he walked gently, afraid of waking him up. Unexpectedly, he was wearing headphones watching videos under the blanket. He said, "Why are you home so early?" I've already informed the dormitory manager. What are you doing back? I was mad. Crap. He left me at KTV and even gave me this gift. Are you planning on selling me to Lu Nguyen? I wonder if being friends with him is a blessing or a curse. Deep Fam smiled crookedly and winked at me. I just created a chance for you too. I snorted. Let you have a girlfriend. I will also give you a special gift. On the weekend, the weather was beautiful, the warm sun shone on us. This time, Lu Nguyen did not park right in front of the door but stopped a street away. When I arrived, she was leaning against the car door playing with her phone. The sunlight covered her, as if covering her with a thin layer of powder. All black outfit with delicate angular face and long, slender arms. Without a hat, the aura exudes charm. I softly reminded, I'm here. As I walked along the way, my phone kept vibrating. It was a text message from her, just reminding me to wear more clothes. It's still early, don't rush. Lu Nguyen heard me, her eyes flashed with surprise. She observed me a few times, the corners of her lips curled up. I'm wearing a lot today. She's making fun of me. I was afraid that other people would recognize me, so I suddenly pulled out the super large scarf Deep Fam gave me and wrapped myself around myself, walking along the wall. I also feel like I'm being too sneaky. After we got into the car, I said, it's been a long time since Yen laughed, listening to you talk. Actually, today is really our first serious date. But I got used to seeing her and where she was going to take me. Until Lu Nguyen stopped the car in front of the hospital gate, I was stunned. Point out the window toward the hospital sign. Are you unwell? Lu Nguyen smiled slightly, got out of the car, and opened the door for me. Let's go. I'll take you to meet someone. Could it be your relative? See, you've introduced your family so quickly, why are you still in the hospital? I didn't bring anything with me, is that okay? I followed Lu Nguyen, whispering, should I go to the gate to buy a fruit basket? Lu Nguyen heard that and glanced at me. No need. That person doesn't like eating fruit. Having finished speaking, she took my hand and walked up the stairs. I was screaming inside. I clenched my fists so hard that they almost had holes in them. Why did my first date take me to the hospital to meet my parents? I hate you. Lu Nguyen was heartless. I bowed my head, my heart felt cold, and she led me to a hospital room. Auntie, didn't you say to go today? Auntie, I didn't hear you right. Looking up, looking at the hospital bed was a little girl Ton Tuesday wearing a gray beanie, a silver headset around his neck. Looking closely, the eyes are as similar to Lu Nguyen. The little girl saw me hiding behind Lu Nguyen, her pale face, a bright smile. Are you my brother? Haha, finally met. Hurry up and play a game online. The hospital room was filled with joyful laughter. I sat on one side, feeling confused. At that time I was sick, the doctor didn't let me play on the phone, but I was worried that people would bully me so I was small. Now I play instead. I'm very bad at it. I don't know how to play games. I only know good morning and good night. Lu Nuyen glanced at the girl. Just because you don't like playing games, doesn't mean you don't know how to play. The girl was not afraid at all, winking at me. From now on, please rarely go online. I thought you didn't play anymore, so I didn't ask for anything in the game. Nothing sneakily pulled me away. Auntie, you're not playing nice. It turns out that the person I originally played the game with was her. No matter how different each other is from before and after, one heaven and one earth. Deep Fam also said he hadn't seen her for a year, reminding him that he had grown up. We chatted for a while in the hospital room. The girl kept telling jokes, not looking like someone who was sick at all. As she left, she waved goodbye. Brother, remember to come play next time. Lu Nuyen saw my mood and patted my head. Don't think nonsense, this is a genetic disease. As long as you treat it well, you'll be fine. Hearing that, I became even more worried. Hereditary disease? So have you had a health check? Lu Nuyen paused for a second, her eyes showing a hint of a deliberate smile. Are you concerned about me? My face was hot. I tried to stay calm, and said, we're already together. Regarding my health, you must have an in-depth understanding, right? Lu Nuyen held back a laugh and explained, her disease is inherited from her grandmother. Her parents are both abroad, she refused to go with her. Since she was little, she has been with me more. She is very naughty and doesn't care about her health. Staying up all night playing games, I found out and scolded her. She begged again, forcing me to go online and chat with her friends. I thought he fell in love early. I hastily explained. No, absolutely not. You saw it too. Did we say anything at first? Don't be shy. Lu Nuyen's cold face revealed an enchanting smile. You know, I just started not thinking about it later. I'm speechless. Speak quickly. It's me. Don't hesitate, just go ahead and say it. What's the face? After having dinner with Lu Nuyen, none of us mentioned going home. The car suddenly became quiet, so quiet that you could clearly hear each other's breathing. I was so nervous that I didn't know where to put my hands. Lu Nuyen broke the silence. Don't take me for a walk by the river. I hastily agreed, only to realize my palms were sweaty. On the way, she was driving, and I prayed to save Deep Fam. Deep Fam. Every time I looked into her eyes, I tensed up. Liking someone is like that. What he said sounds reasonable, but has he ever loved anyone? We're going for a walk, don't know when we'll be back. Don't come back again, I begged. Please. I secretly glanced at Lu Nuyen. She was concentrating on driving, and looked more beautiful from the side. What do you need to touch? Take the risk, Trin Fook. She let her know who was the master. It really makes it impossible for her to get up for class tomorrow morning. Damn it, she said, he had a plan. I was about to scold him when the car suddenly stopped. Lu Nuyen tilted her head to look at me. Is the phone that interesting? I gasped. Not as interesting as you. Don't be like that. It's not completely dark yet, is it okay to talk about this? It's already dark. The winter sun is short. On the surface of the river, the lights sparkled as if people were walking around, wrapped tightly in scarves, and hunched their necks as they walked. I put my hands in the pockets of my life jacket and walked along the riverbank with Lu Nuyen. She suddenly stopped walking. So cold. If it's cold, let's go home, I obeyed her words. Let's go home then, summer is coming again, the wind is blowing. This romance seems a bit off track. Lu Nuyen smiled softly, holding my hand tighter. Okay, listen to what I said and go home, but no one said where to go. She got in the car and turned around. Everything went very neatly. Looking at the road situation, it doesn't look like the way back to school. I secretly took out my phone to look at the map, sure enough it wasn't. A series of confusing images immediately appeared in my head. Some things can be said, some things cannot. I quietly turned off the phone, leaned against the back of the chair, pretending to be asleep until Lu Nuyen parked the car. I opened my eyes sleepily. So fast? Why is this place? Lu Nuyen quietly looked at me, acting. I stubbornly continued to act. What time is it? My phone ran out of battery and turned off. Are you okay? I blinked at her innocently. Lu Nuyen laughed softly in a gentle voice. It's upstairs, let me go down and get it for you. Following the script, I quickly grabbed her arm. Then let me go with you. I'm so sorry. Please come with me. Lu Nuyen looked at my hand and thought for a few seconds. Seems a bit hesitant. It's okay. It wasn't my first time coming to Lu's house Nuyen, but this time, in front of me was the new Luzanne. After seeing Lu's slippers, Yin suddenly came forward to kiss me. The two of them were inseparable, constantly changing scenes, finally stopping on the soft bed. The clothes on his body gradually fell off. Don't look at me. I quickly covered it, but Lu Yen's eyes darkened, looking as if he wanted to swallow me whole. Stop looking. I quickly raised my hand to cover her eyes. She smiled slightly, trying to calm herself. That's not fair. Whatever you want to see, I've shown it to you. I immediately put my hand over her mouth. It's not the same, your eyes are so scary. Lu Nuyen knocked my hand out. Let me cover my eyes so I can't see anymore. To be fair, I touched it first. She held my hand and brought it inside. It was obvious that I had covered her eyes, but the one who fell into the weak position was still me. Deep fam is right, facing someone you like, the feeling of excitement alone is difficult to resist, let alone intimate contact. I rolled my eyes, remembering Deep fam's advice, closed my eyes, took a risk, and waited for my hand to hug my neck. She kissed down forcefully. See if I don't kiss you to death. Act very resolutely. I hugged her. She said, don't go to class early tomorrow. Can I change classes with another teacher? She took the opportunity to refuse me. I silently apologized to Deep fam in my heart. I can't help you. Lu Nuyen realized I was planning to sneak away, so he was dissatisfied and pinched my waist. Concentrate, you've been calling your wife for 3 years, call one more time, can you comfort me? But I couldn't open my mouth to call. So she patiently taught me over and over again. This month is still long, try your best, sooner or later you have to get used to it.